Buonasera a tutti e benvenuti to the 17th annual opening ceremony for the City of Cleveland's Italian American Heritage Month. During this event, we celebrate the past, present, and future of the great Italian American community of Northeast Ohio and reflect upon our culture and how our Italian American culture contributed to the region and all of the positive things we have contributed to our families and our communities. We have a wonderful evening ahead of us, but first let's begin with a prayer led by Father Thomas Draga.
Let us bow our heads and pray. Almighty and ever-gracious God, you who are the source of all that is good, holy, and right, we give you praise and thanks for this opportunity to gather this evening. We thank you for each person who has gathered here this night. We give you thanks for those who could not be with us and those who have been part of the Italian American Heritage Society, who have gone before us marked with a sign of faith and now rest in your loving embrace. On this night, O God, as we come together to celebrate our Italian heritage and recall those whose shoulders we now stand, family and friends like my own grandparents, who boarded ships like the SS Connigan Luis and SS Giuseppe Verdi to travel to this land with hopes and dreams of a better life, we ask you, instill in us a spirit of devotion and reverence for the heritage we hold so dear. We give you thanks, O God, for the gift of our rich heritage as both Italians and Americans. We give you thanks for the many blessings, lessons learned, some instilled by guilt, but lessons learned nonetheless, for the richness of faith and tradition, for the devotions of family, friends, and neighbors, for the strong work ethic that was born out of sweat and tears. We praise you, O God, this night for our honorees, Biagio, James, Michael, and Stanley, who have followed so faithfully and beautifully the pattern of life that was set out by their parents and grandparents before them. We trust, O God, that you are in our midst. May your presence fill this place and give us grace. May Catherine of Siena and Francis of Assisi, patron saints of our Italian homeland, intercede on our behalf this night. We make this prayer through the power of your holy name, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you, Father. Performing the anthems of Italy and the United States this evening is 12-year-old Alex Kozma. He lives in North Royalton, Ohio, and has been studying music and singing with Mrs. Olga Druzinia since 2017. He has performed in various professional productions around Cleveland and competed and placed in local, national, and international singing competitions. Alex? And now for the U.S. National Anthem. Just wonderful. Thank you so much, Alex. And he will be performing one more song with us before we close the program. Mayor Bibb is unable to be here with us this evening due to prior obligations, but he sent his representative, Theasia Danley, to present us with the mayor's official proclamation of October as Italian American Heritage Month in the city of Cleveland.
Good evening and welcome to City Hall. This evening, Mayor Bibb is unable to be with you, but he did want me to present a proclamation on his behalf, and I'd like to read just part of this to you. Whereas on behalf of the citizens of the City of Cleveland, I am honored to offer this proclamation designating October 1st through October 31st, 2022 as Italian Heritage Month in Cleveland. Italian Heritage Month is a national recognition of the culture, heritage, and Italian Americans. The City of Cleveland will hold a celebration on October 3rd in recognition of Italian Heritage Month, and that is today. So on behalf of Mayor Bibb, I'd like to present this proclamation to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Theasia. I would like to now introduce the honorary co-chairs of the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee, Councilman Blaine Griffin and Councilman Michael Polensek.
Good evening. Come on, you guys got to celebrate better than that. Good evening. All right. So first of all, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to be a co-chair. When my good friend, former Councilman Matt Zone left, he said, you know, Councilman Polensek, Councilman Griffin, I want you to carry on this tradition. And I was more than honored to carry on this tradition because I have the honor and privilege of representing Little Italy and being the Cleveland City Council President. So this event is so important to be able to come and celebrate the ethnic heritage and the Italian heritage of our community is essential. I know next week is the big day. I'll be there celebrating with you on Columbus Day next Monday. And this council has done more than just come and celebrate these kind of events. This council has really worked hard with people like Basil Russo and the Italian American Sons and Daughters of America, and really making sure that we uphold the honors and traditions so that every culture and everybody gets to celebrate their culture in their own special way. So it's very important for us to get together as Cleveland City Council and celebrate this annual event with you. But as we say often, this is also a party with a purpose. The party is you and celebrating your hall here at City Hall, but the purpose is to always make sure that the city of Cleveland recognizes and cherishes the Italian traditions of this community. So on behalf of all of us on Cleveland City Council, I'd like to say thank you and please enjoy this evening.
Going to Siena, welcome. To my home away from home, to the host committee, to Pamela, who's done a magnificent job as always of putting this together, to my dear former colleague, Matt Zone, and my dear former colleague, longtime friend, Basil Russo. It's so good to see them here today. My brothers and sisters, this is a very special day within the Italian community, where you have an opportunity to celebrate, not just today, but year-round, the history, the culture, and the commitment of the Italian community to this city and beyond. Every time I'm in this magnificent chamber here, the vestibule, the Rotunda City Hall, I think of all the Italians who helped put City Hall together, the craftsmen, the workers, the laborers, everybody. I saw the names over the years of people who just worked their tail off to build City Hall and to build the city of Cleveland. I'm very proud to represent North Shore, Collinwood, and Collinwood Village and the parish of Holy Redeemer, which has been a landmark of the Italian community in our community. I want to thank you all, especially the honorees today, for your contributions to our greater community, and the families that are here to support the honorees. And also, I guess I see we have a replacement for Rocco Scotti over here, okay? Man, I'm telling you, I hope to see you at the stadium one of these days, okay? Because what a great job he did. But again, this is a special day, and as Blaine indicated, and I want to thank him because I know a lot of people in Little Italy. When part of the family first came over, they moved in Little Italy. They lived in Little Italy. And then they moved to the suburbs of Collinwood, okay? But Blaine has represented, since he became the councilman in Little Italy, he's represented that community to the best of his ability. He cares about the Italian community, and I can say that publicly. I appreciate what you do for the neighborhood, because if he doesn't do it, he's going to hear from us, okay? You know that. Because you know what, you know how that old saying goes, we put you on the throne, or we take you off of the throne, okay? So, again, I hope to see you all on Monday, October 10th, Columbus Day, a very special day in the history of this community and of this country. God bless all of you. Thanks for your commitment to the Italian community.
Thank you, Councilman. I really appreciate your continued support of this event. It has been an honor and a pleasure serving as chair of the committee this year and for the last 7 years, I think now. And I am grateful for the opportunity to serve the Italian American community in this capacity. But this event would not come together if it wasn't for the members of the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee and other volunteers who worked together to put this event on. I would like to recognize them and express my sincere thanks for their work and support this year. Please hold your applause until they have all been announced. Tom Antonello, Dennis Castiglione, Kelly Falcone Hall, Aldo Filippelli, Mario Fiorito Jr., Robert Lapucci, Joe Marinucci, Rose Zitello, and Matt Zone, who's hiding over here. Thank you. I would also like to extend a special thanks to Theasia Danley, who not only presented us with the proclamation, but helped arrange all the logistics for this event. Special thanks also to Joan Mazzolini, Chief of Communications for Cleveland City Council. And to the staff at TV20 for recording this event. The support we received from the following organizations helped us greatly with putting on this event, and I would like to recognize them and express our sincere appreciation. First of all, I would like to thank our presenting sponsor, the Order Italian Sons and Daughters of America. Through their generosity, we were able to provide the delicious food and drink catered by Angelo's Nido Italia that we will get to enjoy after this ceremony. Thank you, Basil. Also, thanks to our other sponsors, the Downtown Cleveland Alliance, Italian Cultural Garden, Power of Harmony, the Western Reserve Historical Society, and the West Side Little Italy Block Club. Thank you. I would also like to thank the City of Cleveland Mayor's Office and Cleveland City Council for their support, and to Rock the House AV for their sound services. And last but certainly not least, I would like to recognize the volunteers who helped us with this event. And you'll be getting your wine from two volunteers from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, Ronnie Ezzo and Alicia Maisie. So thank you to them. I would like to now introduce Honorable Basil M. Russo, National President of the Italian Sons and Daughters of America and President of the Conference of Presidents of Major Italian American Organizations. Basil has been a vocal and strident supporter of the Italian American community both locally and nationally, advocating for continued recognition of the important role Italian Americans have played and continue to play in our nation. Basil.
Thank you. Tonight begins the official celebration of Italian Heritage Month in the city of Cleveland. The ISDA is honored to serve as the sponsor of this special event, which recognizes the contributions and the accomplishments of so many talented Italian Americans. This event began in 2006 when then Councilman Matt Zone originated the idea. Mayor Frank Jackson enthusiastically supported it, and the Italian American Heritage Night at Cleveland City Hall was born. Our community is fortunate to have had two exceptional co-chairs in recent years. The first, of course, is our City Council President, Blaine Griffin, who does an outstanding job of leading the City Council in our community. Blaine has been a very good friend to the Italian American community. And we're honored to support him in whatever ways we can be of assistance to him. Our other outstanding co-chair is the Dean of Cleveland City Council, Mike Polensik, who does a remarkable job representing the residents of Collinwood for the past 44 years. I believe Mike has served in Cleveland City, I know that he's served in Cleveland City Council longer than any other councilman in the history of the city of Cleveland. And the 44 years he served in council probably exceeds the ages of the majority of the council people serving today. We are also looking forward to working closely with our new mayor, Mayor Justin Bibb, to help him implement many of the creative ideas he's undertaking to improve the quality of life throughout our community. Now a word to our honorees. Each of you has been selected in part because of the devotion you have to your heritage. You sit here this evening because of the Italian-American upbringing each of you had, an upbringing that instilled in you a devotion to family, faith, and a strong work ethic. We congratulate each of you for your exceptional accomplishments and the pride that you have instilled in each of your families. I invite each of you and your families to join us in Little Italy next Monday, October 10th, for our annual Columbus Day Parade. We begin the day at 10 a.m. with a Mass at Holy Rosary Church. The parade steps off at noon. It's a marvelous day and a marvelous way to celebrate your heritage with old friends, wonderful food, and plenty of entertainment. It's a great day to be Italian American. One final comment. Our Columbus Day parades began in the city of Cleveland shortly after the turn of the previous century, with the first parade being documented in 1910. Historically, our Columbus Day parades began in various cities throughout the country in 1892 as a response to the New Orleans lynchings of 11 Italian immigrants. That tragic event saw the largest lynch mob in American history. Some 5,000 people participate in the beating, shooting, and lynching of 11 innocent men. Columbus Day parades and the building of Columbus statues were the immigrants' way of attaining some dignity and self-respect at a time when they were subjected to bigotry and violence throughout our country. Italian Americans view Columbus's heroic voyage as the catalyst that brought immigrants from throughout the world to America seeking a better life for their families. We respect the right of every group in our country to celebrate the sacrifices and contributions that their ancestors have made to our country, and we expect that our right to do so will be equally respected. We invite everyone in our community to come celebrate Columbus Day with us, because we believe that Columbus represents the spirit of risk and adventure that is so integral to the to the American spirit. We look forward to seeing each one of you next Monday. We look forward to everybody expressing their pride in their heritage as a way of showing respect and honor to the memory of your parents and your grandparents who may no longer be with you. I thank you all, and we'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, Basil. Matt Zone is the founder of this ceremony and a former Cleveland City Councilman. He's now Director of Thriving Communities and a Senior VP at the Western Reserve Land Conservancy that continues to be involved in and support the Italian American community of Northeast Ohio in a number of different ways. Matt?
Thank you, Pamela. I'm going to be extremely brief because we have 4 amazing honorees, and that's what all of you are here for. As Council President Griffin said, in 2006, then Mayor Frank Jackson and myself came together to create the Italian American Heritage Ceremony. We had such strong support from so many people in this room, particularly Basil Russo and the ISDA and other individuals. It warms my heart that 17 years later, this event is still going strong. Look at all the people here inside of City Hall, and that is in no small part to Council President Blaine Griffin and Councilman Mike Polensek. They know how important this event is, so continue to support them, continue to support this event, and thank you all. Pamela, let's get on with the program.
Thank you, Matt. The most important and challenging job of this committee is to select the honorees each year. While the individuals on the committee are all active in the Italian American community, we can't possibly know everyone. There are many who are deserving of recognition, and if you find yourself thinking of individuals who should be recognized next year, please take a few moments when the nomination form is released to nominate them. I also want to draw your attention to the calendar in the program booklet that you have. There is a very full list of activities and programs you can engage in throughout the month of October to celebrate Italian American Heritage Month, reflect on your heritage, and learn more about it. Before we move on to the honorees, I want to recognize the many Italian American clubs in Northeast Ohio. There are over 35 active Italian American clubs in our region. And I want to thank you to all of the clubs and their members who have joined us this evening. Thank you for all your support and the work that you do to keep Italian culture and heritage alive in our region. Let's have a round of applause for the Italian American clubs. The committee selected 4 honorees to be recognized this year for the outstanding success they've achieved through their hard work and service to the community. They exemplify the values that define us as Italian Americans, including faith, family, and work ethic, and shed a positive light on our culture and the good things we have contributed and continue to contribute to our region of Northeast Ohio. Our first honoree is in the business category, and it's Biagio's Donuts and Pizza Shop. Steve? He's going to come up here, and we're going to take a picture, and then you guys... Yeah, we'll take a picture over there. So if you guys want to go down there. This is Steve Freiberg of the Capadonna family. Biagio's Donut Shop and Pizzeria was founded in 1963 by its namesake, Biagio Capadonna in Eastlake, Ohio. Biagio Capadonna left his home in Messina, Sicily at age 15 and immigrated with his aunt and uncle to the Little Italy neighborhood on Cleveland's east side in 1952. He worked in Little Italy at Presti's Bakery, coming in on his days off to learn, develop, and cultivate his true passion, donuts. In 1962, then 25-year-old Biagio opened a donut and pizza shop in Wickliffe, Ohio with his brother Tony. A year later, he opened his own shop in Eastlake. Biagio's has grown and expanded from a small donut shop and pizzeria to the premier establishment it is today, being featured countless times in the Plain Dealer, voted Cleveland's best donut time and time again, winning the fan favorite donut award at the Cleveland Donut Fest in 2020, and even being voted top 100 donut shops in the country. So congratulations to Biagio's Donuts.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Italian American Heritage Committee for this wonderful award. I think we've heard time and time again throughout the night about the extreme work ethic of many Italian Americans throughout Northeast Ohio. My grandfather, Biagio, definitely exemplified that, building Biagio's to what it is today. So I also want to thank everyone in the room, Italian Americans throughout Northeast Ohio, to continue to support local family-owned businesses like Biagio's. Thank you very much.
And I can personally vouch for Biagio's Donuts. They're 10 minutes from my house, and I eat donuts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right. So our next honoree is for city employee, Cleveland Water Division, and his name is Michael A. LaMonica. Unfortunately, Michael is not well at the moment, so he and his family could not make it this evening. But the former commissioner of the Water Department, Julius Chiacha, is going to accept the award on his behalf. Michael LaMonica began working at the City of Cleveland Water Division in 1985 as a water pipe repairman. In 1988, he moved to the meter department and 1 year later became its foreman. The division named Michael Employee of the Month in March 2002. In 2003, Michael moved to the Service and Maintenance Division of Cleveland Water. From 2012 to the present, he has served as Manager of General Maintenance. He is particularly proud to hold this position because his father held the same position when he worked for the Cleveland Water Division. Michael's grandparents, Michael and Rosanna Canzoni LaMonica, emigrated from Foggia, Italy, and married in Cleveland, Ohio in 1925. They lived on East 124th Street in Cleveland's Little Italy neighborhood. Michael's parents, William and Virginia LaMonica, were born and raised in Little Italy, and that is where Michael spent his first years of his life. He graduated from Mentor High School in 1979. Congratulations to Michael.
Thank you, Pam, and thank you everybody for being here. And on behalf of Mike, thank you to the committee and everybody else who's involved in this presentation. Like all of you, I came here just to celebrate with the honorees, and Mike was one of them. He's somebody that worked for me. I was quite surprised to find out that he took ill and has some issues that he's dealing with right now with him and his family. So I would ask that all of you at some point this evening say a prayer for him and his family, that he gets well soon. As his bio showed, he is a guy who, we talked a little bit about Italian work ethic here, and Mike had that. He started out with the water department. I was fortunate enough to be able to hire him many years ago. And he started out in the hole, digging up broken water mains, and he did a great job doing that, so much so that he ended up getting elevated into a meter repairman. Those jobs are for people that we can really trust. These are people that are interacting with the public directly, coming into your homes and having to make repairs. So he elevated himself up through and then became the manager or general manager for our building trades within the utilities. As Pam said, his father held that position several years before he did. So quite a guy, and we wish him well. And again, thank you everybody for being here, and thank you to the committee for giving me some.
Our next honoree is for culture, and it's James A. Lucchese. Jim? James Lucchese was born in Cleveland in 1956. He was one of 3 children born to Joseph and Marilyn Lucchese, and is the grandson of James and Catherine Lucchese, who emigrated from Palermo, Sicily in 1918. While growing up, he was involved in Boy Scouts, and in 1973, he became an Eagle Scout of Troop 515. Jim graduated in 1974 from West Technical High School and then attended Cuyahoga Community College in Parma. Jim joined the North Italian Club in May of 2003 and became president in May of 2015. When he became president, there were approximately only 90 members. Under Jim's leadership, the club has grown to over 200 members. The North Italian Club sponsors and participates in a number of activities that help bring Italian families together to celebrate their Italian heritage, including the club picnic, club mass, polenta dinner, Christmas party, and Columbus Day parade. His nominee told me that he's known as the Sicilian who saved the North Italian Club, so congratulations. Good? Okay.
Thank you very much. Wow. Surprising. Hello. Good evening, everyone. I am honored and humbled to receive this award. I would like to thank the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee and actually Pamela Dean also. It was a total surprise when she called me a couple weeks ago, and just thank you very much. I would like to also thank the love of my life, Chris, for 36 years. She has supported and motivated me in this journey. Congratulations to all my fellow honorees also. Also, I want to say a big thank you to my large Italian family, the North Italian Club. The North Italian Club was formed in 1925 by 25 men looking to bring their Italian heritage to Cleveland, Ohio. The 25 men had the foreseen thought, hard work, honesty, and dedication to pass on their proud Italian American heritage to their children, grandchildren, and future generations of their family. These founding fathers were first-generation Americans. For these and other everlasting contributions, we continue to be grateful for the enormous sacrifices made in order that they have a better life. They were instrumental in building the St. Rocco's Church on Fulton Road. Over the 40 years, the Bus Club declined to less than 40 members. In 1984, the North Italian Club and the North Italian Women's Auxiliary Club merged. It's become a true family club. I became president in May 2015. Our club was just under 100 members. I am so proud to thank the board of directors and dedicated members. We have now grown to over 200 members. It is rewarding to see our families coming together to celebrate our Italian heritage. Our annual polenta dinner just sold out last week, 200 tickets in under 1 hour. It is great to see many smiling faces at the summer picnics, Christmas parties, monthly meetings, to just say a few. It has been a treat to participate in the Columbus Day Parade and experience thousands of people all celebrating a common Italian heritage. I want to take a minute to recognize one of the backbones of the North Italian Club. She has served on the board of directors for over 40 years and have been a member of the club for over 60 years. She is the first woman to be honored as a North Italian Club Hall of Fame winner. Eleanor Zenda. Eleanor, please stand up. Thank you, Eleanor. She's been one of my big backbones of my relationship of this club since I've joined the club, and that she's always been there. Just think, in 3 years, the club will be together for 100 years. So we are already talking about our 100-year anniversary coming up very shortly. So many great Italian people have been in my life. My favorite movie
of all times are all the Rocky movies. With the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa, they were great. I am deeply touched to receive this honor. Thank you very much. Yo, Chris, I did it!
Step over there and I'll take your picture. Congratulations. And last but certainly not least is our honoree in the individual category, and that is Stanley J. Lawrence. Stan? Stanley currently works at Plantscaping and Blooms in floral and event design. His mother's grandparents, Giuseppe and Rosario Bocchino, came to America through Ellis Island and settled in the Clark-Fulton area of Cleveland and attended St. Rocco's Church. He grew up at his grandmother's side, learning how to cook Italian recipes, and still enjoys cooking Italian cuisine today. His involvement with the Italian Cultural Garden, our community's monument to Italy, began in spring of 2012. Stanley volunteers his time at the Italian Cultural Garden whenever his schedule permits. He plants the urns and the entrance planters, does the trimming and other maintenance work, and decorates the garden for Christmas. He also helps out with the very popular opera in the Italian Cultural Garden each year. Congratulations, Stan.
Wow, I've never been in a room with this many Italians and so quiet. Okay, I would like to take the time to thank the Cleveland Italian American community for this honor. I would also like to thank Joyce Mariani, which is the Executive Director of the Italian Cultural Garden Foundation, for her vision and hard work beginning on our $1.5 million restoration and plans to finish the original plans from the 1930s original design. First, the main point I'd like to make is that the Italian Cultural Garden is not just a flower garden, but it was intended to be a place of sharing with the public our great cultural figures in history from the Romans down through the Renaissance to today. The garden only became fully planted 5 years ago, and this place is unique. It's the only Renaissance cultural garden anywhere in the United States, and it's here in Cleveland. We are halfway through our $1.5 million restoration, including a Pantheon structure that is hopefully to be constructed honoring 200 cultural figures that was planned in 1930 but never finished. There's no magic bullet to keep this big place running or a fund large restoration. We rely only on donations for the restoration and for the upkeep. We finished over $500,000 of the $1.5 million restoration and recently added 7 cultural figures: Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and Galileo, to name a few. The public space was given to our community to restore and maintain. A big thank you to our dedicated volunteers, Tom Antonello, Rob Lapucci, Mike Spina, Tom Berardinelli, Anthony Iannero, and remembering Gino Collage, who loved the garden and is here in spirit with us, who previously kept it for the past 18 years. I urge each of you to annually make a tax-deductible donation to keep this place running for our restoration work. Information for donations can be found either on Facebook by looking up the Italian Cultural Garden or also contacting the Federation directly at 216-916-7780. Working together, we can realize and complete our restoration and keep this important place that is highly visited by the public, the important space that it was meant to be. I'll leave you with the mission statement from 1930 of our garden. The Italian Cultural Garden was dedicated as a symbol of the contribution of the Italian culture to America's democracy, and I thank you.
For really outstanding honorees, how about we have another round of applause for all of our honorees? We need the microphone back up on the stage. I don't know who's in charge of that. Thanks, Joe. Yeah. See, our committee is very helpful. One note before we conclude the ceremony is how happy I am to see all of you back together in Cleveland City Hall. You know, the pandemic really slowed down canceled events like this. And even though we continued with a video ceremony and with a very small ceremony last year, it's just not the same when you're not all together with your community celebrating and breaking bread together. So I'm very happy to see you all here this evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Now, to close our ceremony, Alex Kozma is going to perform one last song for us. It's called Matinata by Ruggiero Leoncavallo. Alex?
Di
Thank you, Alex. Just beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. As we conclude this evening's ceremony, I would again like to thank ISDA and our other sponsors, the committee, councilmen, the city, and I would like to again congratulate our amazing honorees. Before we get to dinner, Father Draga is going to close the evening with a prayer. Father.
Trust me, it is not lost on me that I am the only thing standing between you and dinner. Loving God, we give you thanks for these honorees, Biagio, James, Michael, and Stanley. Continue to bless them for their goodness, hard work, and devotion. May we continue to be inspired by their dedication to their Italian-American heritage. We come to that point in our evening, O God, which every man, woman, and child of American descent knows so well, that gathering around the table, sharing a meal, breaking bread, will not simply nourish our bodies, but will for all times be a holy, cherished, and sacred moment, because it is the gathering of family and friends and an opportunity to celebrate life. And so, God, we ask you to bless the food that we are about to receive, the conversations that we share. Be with our sisters and brothers who go without this night, and bless all those who have asked for our prayers, and all those that we carry in our hearts. Amen.